Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products, presents Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve. Kraft brings you The Great Gildersleeve every week at this time, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore, with music by Claude Swaiten. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. These cold weather days, families really warm up to hearty, sustaining energy foods. So be sure to serve them breakfast toast, dinner rolls, muffins, and bread with delicious, nourishing Parquet margarine. It's one of the very best energy foods you can serve, and so economical, too. Yes, Parquet margarine costs very little, yet it helps provide the food elements that are so important for winter's nutritional needs. In addition to its high energy value, Parquet margarine contains essential vitamin A, 9,000 units in every single pound. And that's just as true in winter as it is in summer. Each pound of Parquet you buy all through the year has 9,000 units of vitamin A added to it. So for a grand flavor treat and for energy and vitamin A, buy and serve Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Yes, Kraft makes Parquet. Now let's join the Great Gildersleeve, who still has a breach of promise suit dangling over his head. In addition, he's just sent off a check to the Department of Internal Revenue, so he's feeling doubly depressed. We find him now sitting glumly in his parlor, chewing a cigar as Bertie enters.
Lunch nearly ready, Bertie?
Yes, sir. I just thought I'd straighten up the living room a little.
Oh, well, don't pick up those comic books, Bertie. Just leave them on the floor.
They've been there all morning, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I know. Leroy skipped out early. But if you don't leave them for him to pick up, how is he ever going to learn?
I've been trying that system for quite a while now, but he don't seem to catch on.
Yeah, well, I'll speak to him when he comes in. Just leave everything as is.
The skates, too?
Skates, too. I don't understand that boy. He seems to have the instincts of a pig.
He's just a boy, Mr. Gildersleeve. You got to expect him to act like a pig for a few more years.
Yeah, that's probably one of his little friends, too. Tell him to go away, Bertie.
Yes, I'll get rid of him. Leroy and... Oh, excuse me, Judge.
Morning, Bertie. Gildersleeve in?
Yes, he is, Judge, but he's feeling kind of mean.
Well, I gotta see him anyway. Morning, Throckmorton.
Hello, Judge. Take off your coat. Have a chair.
Thank you.
Well, have you done anything?
Well, yes and no. I did a little reading up on breach of promise last night.
Oh, that's nice. Did you find out anything?
Well, I found one thing, but the...
Dirty guy! You dirty guy!
Leroy, what's the matter?
Oh, he's got a bloody nose. That's what's the matter.
He's a dirty guy!
You got a handkerchief, Judge?
You got one?
Come here, Leroy. Wipe your nose.
I'll kill that dirty guy!
Try not to dribble on the rug, my boy.
Okay.
Now, I've told you not to get into fights, young man. Who beat you up?
Nobody. It was a try.
What were you fighting about?
About you.
About me?
Yeah, I was sticking up for you.
Well, I appreciate your loyalty, my boy, but I can fight my own battles.
You weren't there. I had to do it.
Oh? Explain yourself, please. Who were you fighting with?
Whitey White.
The dentist boy.
Oh, yes. What was the exact cause of the quarrel?
He said you were an old chicken chaser.
Oh, he did, eh? And how'd you like a punch in the nose, you old goat?
Sorry, Gildy. Proceed with the case.
Yes. Leroy, I deplore fighting, as you know. Still, in this instance, I think you had good grounds. I've never gone out of my way to seek the society of any woman. I have never been involved with any woman, and I don't intend to be.
What a character.
I don't care for that expression either. Now, pick up your comic books and skates.
Okay.
Not now, I'm busy.
Okay. Can I have a sandwich?
No, spoil your lunch.
Okay. Here's your handkerchief, Unc.
You may keep it, Leroy. Better go upstairs and wash your face a little bit. Lunch will be ready soon.
Okay. Gosh, I don't see why I have to starve to death around here.
Yes.
Fine boy, Throckmorton. Why don't you let the little fella have a sandwich?
When I want advice on raising the little fellow from you, I'll ask for it, Judge, and pay for it. Let's stick to the law.
Well, now there's one thing, Gildy. I'm convinced that if we had any kind of a defense, Del Rey's lawyer would drop the case in a minute.
Well, tell him we're going to fight. He'll drop it.
Oh, no. He'll think we're bluffing. He won't give up unless I can show him we have a case.
All right, dig up a case.
Well, I found one sort of a defense, only we can't use it.
Huh?
If you could prove that at the time you allegedly proposed marriage to Dolores Del Rey, you were engaged to another woman...
What do you mean?
Well, if you were pledged to another and Miss Del Rey knew it, she has no case.
By George. Horace, did I ever tell you that Eve Goodwin and I were engaged to be married?
Of course, you told everybody.
Did I ever tell you we'd broken off our engagement?
Well, no, but I understood.
Never mind what you understood. Eve Goodwin and I are engaged. We always have been, and we always will be.
Gildy, I don't like the sound of this. The law is a stern mistress, and I...
Now, don't go dragging ethics into this, Judge. The lady is a blackmailer, isn't she?
Well, yes, if your side of the story is true.
Don't you believe anything your client says?
Now, Throckmorton.
Well, if you do, you get that downtown and tell Del Rey's lawyer that you've got a defense, and you're going to fight.
But, Gildy, you'd have to be able to prove this. You'd have to have witnesses.
For the last time, Judge, I am engaged to Eve Goodwin. Just leave the rest to me.
All right, Gildy, I'll see what I can do. But let me ask just one thing. Does Eve know about this?
Don't worry about Eve. Have you children finished your lunch? I want to talk to you.
I'm all done. Marge didn't eat a thing. She's thinking about her boyfriend. She just wants to live on nothing but love.
That'll do, Leroy.
Love! Oh, shut up.
Marjorie, where are you going?
I don't care to sit here and be insulted by a drip.
She wants to go someplace and let a drip make love to her.
Leroy. Marjorie, wait a minute. I want to talk to you both about something important.
Is it about being neat, picking up stuff?
No, but have you...
I'll do it right after lunch.
More tapioca, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, thank you, Bertie. Bertie, perhaps you'd better stay and listen to what I have to say to the children.
Yes, sir. More tapioca, Leroy?
No, thanks. Shoot, Unc, I gotta get going.
So do I.
All right. Now, as you all know, I'm engaged to marry Miss Goodwin.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
What did you say, Uncle Mort?
I simply made a reference to my fiancée.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you sure is a hard man to keep track of.
Let's not be silly about this. I told all of you last spring that I was engaged to Miss Eve Goodwin.
Yes, sir, but it seems we ain't seen much of her recently.
I thought she gave you the air.
Nothing of the kind, Leroy. She's very devoted to me, as I am to her.
Love!
Leroy!
Just kidding, Unc.
Yeah, well, cut it out. I want all of you to understand that I'm still engaged to Miss Goodwin, that I've been engaged to her all the time.
Well, I don't know how it happened, but I think it's wonderful, Unky. I hope you'll be very happy.
Huh?
When are you gonna get married?
Oh, it's nothing like that. I mean, nothing immediate.
This is too deep for me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Same here. Is or is you ain't engaged to Miss Goodwin.
I am. And if anybody should ask you, Leroy, you tell them so.
I'll answer, Miss Gildersleeve. Gildersleeve, President. Oh, yes, Judge. Just a minute. Judge.
Thank you, Bertie. Hello, Judge. Well, no, I haven't had a chance to see her yet. Well, I was going to do it just as soon... Oh, my goodness. You're right. I better do it before anybody else gets to her. Where's my hat?
Holy smoke, what's the rush?
Got to see my fiancée right away.
What for?
Got to tell her something. I mean, ask her something. Oh, pick up those skates, Leroy, before I get back here. Old wind isn't what it used to be.
Oh, Throckmorton, it's you.
Hello, Eve. Can I come in for a moment?
Oh, of course.
Thanks.
Well, what is it, Throckmorton? Is something wrong?
No, I just dropped in to pass the time of day.
You seem in a dreadful hurry. Won't you take your coat off?
I think I'll just sit down a moment and get my breath back first.
Oh, yes, for goodness sake.
Nice day we're having.
Yes, it is. Lovely.
It was cloudy at first, but then cleared up.
Yes, it's so good to see the sun again.
It could still get cloudy again, but I don't think it will.
I hope not.
Eve?
Yes, Throckmorton?
Nothing.
Well, do take your overcoat off, Throckmorton. It might help you to breathe. Unbutton your collar, too, if you like.
No, I'm all right. I'll just sit here a minute. That new picture you got there over on the mantel?
Oh, no. No, that picture's been there all the time.
Thought maybe it was new. Looks purpler. Eve.
Yes?
Nothing.
Is something on your mind, Throckmorton?
No, really.
I can tell. Come on, what is it?
Honest, Eve, I just happened to be passing by, and I thought, well, I'll just drop in and see Eve a minute.
Well, I'm glad you did. But I have a parent-teachers meeting very shortly, so if you have anything to tell me...
Well, you won't get sore.
Throckmorton, you're such a child. This seems just like old times.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, those were the days. Hey, Eve, what do you say we get engaged again?
Are you serious?
Serious? This is a matter of life and death.
I thought it was sudden the first time. But this...
Somebody at the door.
Yes, a friend is calling for me. I've got to go.
No, wait, Eve.
But my meeting, Throckmorton...
Let her wait a second. Look, we could pretend our engagement has never been broken. We could pretend we've been engaged all the time. We just put off the wedding, that's all. Why not?
Well, I can think of several reasons, but one of them is that I have to go now.
Oh, darn the Parent-Teacher Association. Wait.
Throckmorton, please.
Eve, this is mighty important. You don't understand. We wouldn't have to get married or anything. We wouldn't even be engaged, really.
Well, what would be the point?
Yeah, well, I'll explain later. Will you do it? Will you, Eve? We'd only be pretending. How about it?
I'm sorry, Throckmorton. That would be living a lie. Come in.
Oh, nuts. Do you mind if I use your telephone then?
Not at all.
Evie, darling, come along. We'll have to hurry if we're going to get to Coots Mill before sundown.
Be right there, just as soon as I get my things on.
Oh, parent-teachers meeting, eh?
It happens that he's a parent and I'm a teacher.
Talk about living a lie. Hello, Judge. Gildersleeve. Hold everything, Judge. It didn't work.
Throckmorton, really?
Don't ask me what happened, Judge. I got mixed up with the Parent-Teachers Association.
Greg Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. When rosy-cheeked youngsters get to playing outdoors these wintry days, they work up enormous appetites. And a good way to satisfy this healthy hunger is to spread slices of enriched bread, crackers, or hot toast with delicious Parquet margarine. Children simply love Parquet because it tastes so good. Adds such appetizing flavor goodness to bread, muffins, pancakes, and waffles. And it's extra good for them, too, because Parquet helps provide energy fuel and an important vitamin that growing children need. In addition to being so high in energy value, Parquet contains vitamin A. In fact, Kraft adds 9,000 units of important vitamin A to every single pound of this nutritious spread for America's bread. So please the children, delight your whole family. Buy and serve delicious, nourishing Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Yes, Kraft makes Parquet. Now let's get back to our friend Gildersleeve. His refusal by Eve Goodwin has left him only one course to pursue. Before pursuing it, however, he comes home to take in a little nourishment. Now, after supper, he calls in Leroy, Marjorie, and Bertie once more.
I didn't think I'd have to call another family conference so soon, children, Bertie. But, something has come up that makes it necessary. I thought I told you to clean up the living room, Leroy.
Those comic books? I'm reading them.
What about the skates? You been skating in here?
No, sir.
Well, kindly remove all this junk at once.
Yes, sir.
Not now. Wait till I've finished.
Yes, sir.
In discussing my fiancée this afternoon, I made one slight mistake. It's not Eve Goodwin I'm engaged to. It's Mrs. Ransom.
Oh, Unky. And he's the guy I got a bloody nose for. What's going on anyway, Unc?
There's nothing going on. Don't you remember that I was engaged to Mrs. Ransom some time ago?
But that was ages ago.
She's run through a whole husband since then.
It'll not be necessary to mention all the ins and outs of this affair, Bertie. Suffice it to say that Mrs. Ransom and I have been engaged for a long, long time. and we are now engaged.
But this afternoon you were positive you were engaged to Miss Goodwin.
Well, that was a slip of the tongue. If I said Eve Goodwin, I meant Leela Ransom, that's all. Ye gods, can't anybody make a mistake?
Uncle Mort, has this anything to do with all that lawsuit and everything, Miss Del Rey?
What makes you ask that, my dear?
I smell a rat, that's all.
So do I. Why don't you come clean, Unc, and then we'll play ball with you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on, Unky. We're not dopes. There's something fishy about this. You better tell us or we might mess it up for you.
What it comes down to is this. If I was engaged to somebody else at the time I was supposed to have asked Miss Del Rey to marry me, she has no case.
Hey, pretty foxy.
Yeah, there's nothing foxy about it. It's a perfectly legitimate arrangement, Leroy. Naturally, I thought first of basing my case on my most recent fiancée, Miss Goodwin. But, some reason she refused to be a party to it.
Now, ain't that strange? I would have thought she'd snap at you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
She did. She almost bit my head off, Bertie. Anyway, I've decided to base my case on Mrs. Ransom.
Have you spoken to her yet, Unky?
No, but there won't be any trouble there.
You better be careful. What if she should turn you down?
Well, I thought I'd go over and see her this evening. Maybe I ought to take a few precautions, though.
Don't take her no precautions, Mr. Gildersleeve. Take her a present.
Yeah.
Bertie's right, Unky. Flowers or candy or something.
Oh, maybe some of the chocolates she used to like. Women are sentimental, I guess.
Oh, darling, I've missed you so.
Leroy, I think you've taken enough chances for today. Now shut up.
Yes, sir.
How about a ring, Uncle Mort?
A ring? Oh, yes, I mustn't forget the ring. I've still got it, too, upstairs with my cufflinks. Oh, and another thing. I wonder. Can't tell how women are going to react.
What is it?
Well, the first time I ever called on her, I wore my air raid helmet. Maybe if I wore it again, by George, I will. She's always remembered that. Bertie, where is my helmet? Do you know?
No, I don't, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I remember Marge grew some ivy in it once.
That was a long time ago. You were keeping guppies in it for a while.
Guppies? Leroy, that helmet is government property.
Well, if you weren't using it...
I might have needed it any moment. You find that helmet, Leroy, you'll need a helmet in a certain place.
It wouldn't fit there.
Get the helmet!
I think I know where it is, Unc. I'm sure I can find it.
Yes. Well, what do you think, Marjorie, with the ring and the candy and the helmet?
You'll do all right, Uncle Mort, if you'll be nice.
Oh, I'll be diplomatic.
You're the man who can do it.
Oh, thank you, Bertie.
Here's your helmet, Unc.
Yeah. Is it clean, Leroy?
Sure, it's clean. Gosh, guppies are just about the cleanest fish there is.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hi, Peavy.
What can I do for... My goodness, what's that you got there?
Oh, that's my air raid helmet.
I thought it looked like an air raid helmet. Expecting a little incident this evening?
No, I just happen to have it with me. Say,
Going to a drill of some kind, I presume.
No, I'm not going to any drill. Say, Peavy, have you got...
Loaning it to a friend, no doubt.
I just happen to have it with me.
That's a wise precaution. Probably won't happen, but then again, who can tell? Stitch in time saves 9.
What won't happen?
Or, as the pharmacist would put it, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yeah, Peavy, what are you talking about?
That's in the paper there, didn't you read it? They say we're likely to have these rocket bombs dropping in on us in a minute.
Oh, that.
As soon as Mrs. Peavy heard that, she decided we ought to move. And we asked ourselves where we'd go, so we're staying where we are.
Yeah, the only thing to do, I guess.
Well, we listened to Raymond Graham's swing that evening, and we felt better. Do you listen to him, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, when I'm at home, I do, whenever I remember it.
Well, as a rule, Mrs. Peavy retires around 8:30, but I usually sit up for the final word from Mr. Swing. He had an interesting analysis there last night. Did you happen to hear him?
No, I didn't. I was out.
Well, he viewed some things with alarm, but on the other hand, he found some grounds for hope, too. Sensible man, Mr. Swing. He doesn't lose his head. What can I do for you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Huh? Well, confound it, you've talked so much, I've forgotten what I came in here for.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm a little wound up today.
Yes, I remember. You got any of those chocolates you used to have with a cherry in the center? You know, they came in a little box.
Oh, you mean the ones you used to buy for Mrs. Ransom?
Well, since you mentioned it, yes. They were her favorites.
The box had a red ribbon on it and a picture of some cherries and a robin redbreast.
Yeah, that's it.
And some little tin sugar tongs to pick the candies out with.
Yeah, that's it. Have you got any of those?
No, I haven't. I haven't had any of those in 2 years.
Well, what have you got?
Well, my selection of candies is a little limited just now. Hard to get chocolate, you know. We have these candy bars.
Is that all?
That's all. It's called the Doodad Junior. Sells for 5 cents. The Doodad Senior's larger sells for 10.
Yeah.
But I haven't got any of those.
Doodad Junior. What kind of candy is that to give a lady?
It's guaranteed harmless.
No, that's all you got. Give me a half a dozen of those.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve. I can only allow one to a customer.
What? One doodad?
I'm sorry. It's in the interest of national defense.
Yep, all right. There you are.
Wrap it up?
No, I'll take it the way it is, in the interest of national defense. Goodbye, Peavy.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve. I hope she enjoys it.
It's one measly little peanut bar. Doodad. A man's got to be a regular Casanova to get anywhere these days. Gotta get my helmet on here. Guppies. Phew. Smells like a low tide. Oh, well. Anything for a joke. Either this chin strap has shrunk or I've expanded.
Gracious.
Warden Gildersleeve at your service. Like to inspect your sand buckets, ma'am.
Don't tell me there's an air raid.
Quick! Pull down your shades and turn out the lights.
Throckmorton.
Yeah. Don't worry, Leela. Just a little private alert.
Well, I don't think it's very nice you coming over here in your helmet and all scaring a girl.
Well, I thought you'd think it was cute.
Oh, silly, I'm only teasing. What's this all about?
Nothing. Hey, brought you something.
Oh?
There. For you.
For me? Why, Throckmorton, it's... Oh, it's peanuts.
Don't you like peanuts?
Down where I come from, they feed them to hogs.
Hogs, eh? Well, I tried to get chocolate.
Oh, that's all right. It isn't the gift anyway. It's the thought behind it.
Yeah, that's right. It's the thought behind it.
What was the thought behind it, Throckmorton?
Huh?
Never mind. Do take off your helmet before it strangles and come in and sit down.
Oh, thanks. You know, Leela, I've been thinking.
Have you, Throckmorton?
Yeah, I've been thinking. You remember New Year's Eve when you were saying about how we used to be engaged and what fun we had and all that? Those were the days. Hey, Leela?
Did I say that?
Sure you did. You were talking about the first time you ever met me. It was during a blackout. I came over here with my air raid helmet and my flashlight, and you took a shine to me right off. Remember?
It's funny. New Year's Eve is just a blur to me now. There's only one thing I remember very distinctly.
Oh, what's that?
When that man handed you a summons for breach of promise.
Now, Leela, I don't want you to get the wrong idea about that. The whole thing was a mistake.
Yours or hers?
There was nothing in it, really. Nothing. It's all been settled. That is, practically.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'd hate to think of a man I'd once been engaged to being mixed up in any nasty old lawsuit. I don't know what I'd say to people.
Leela?
Yes?
Nothing. Say, how would you like it if I was to sing for you, huh? Speak to me of love.
Oh, Throckmorton.
I'll sing and you play the piano.
Not right now. I'm really not in the mood.
Not in the mood?
No. Let's just sit here and talk, shall we?
Leela, what's happened?
I don't know, Throckmorton. It's just life, I guess. Or maybe I'm growing up or something. But I've been thinking, too.
You?
I know. You think I'm just a silly little thing without a thought in a pretty head. But you're wrong.
Oh, I never said that, Leela. Gosh, you have some wonderful thoughts.
No, that's not true either. But there's one thing I've decided. It's about life.
What's that?
I've decided that love isn't everything.
You know, it's funny you saying that. Because I've just about decided the same thing.
Have you, Throckmorton?
You're darn right. Love can be a great big nuisance.
I read in a book once that lovers can never be true friends. Do you believe that, Throckmorton?
Oh, absolutely. Let's always be friends, Leela.
I've always been a friend of yours.
You mean that?
Of course I do.
Are you a friend of mine right now?
Of course I am.
Leela, Would you do a friend a favor if he asked you?
You know I would.
Would you be engaged to me again?
Engaged? But you just said that...
Oh, don't worry. There won't be any love in it or anything like that. We wouldn't even get married or anything. Just be a friendly understanding.
Just a friendly understanding.
Yeah. I'd give you back your ring, and we'd just pretend that our engagement had never been broken. Simple?
Why, yes, but how long would this friendly understanding have to last?
Well, till this lawsuit blows over. Now, don't be offended.
You mean to tell me that...
I didn't mean to tell you, but that's the way it is. Now, Leela, don't be offended, please.
I'm not offended.
You're not? Oh, will you do it then, as a favor to a friend?
I wouldn't be a very good friend if I refused, would I?
Well, Leela, you're true blue, by George. Yeah, some people do you a favor, and they tell you they have to go to a parent-teacher meeting. Now, don't go away. I got a ring right here in my pocket somewhere. The ring. There.
Other finger, Throckmorton.
Oh. Now, wait a minute. This doesn't mean anything, you know.
I understand.
And you don't mind?
Why should I? After all, it's just a friendly understanding.
Women are funny.
Just the same, I can't help thinking of the first time you put this ring on my finger. You were so darling then.
What do you mean I was darling then?
And after you put the ring on my finger, you kissed it. And then you kissed my hand, and then my arm, and then my shoulder. You were so impetuous in those days.
I still am.
Throckmorton, let go.
Oh, Leela, just a little kiss.
No.
Come on, just one. Hey, where are you going?
I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave now, Throckmorton.
Leela, don't get sore. Just a little kiss.
We had a friendly understanding, Throckmorton, but that was not part of it. Here's your overcoat.
Leela, if we're supposed to be engaged, we have to keep up appearances, you know.
You may kiss me in public, Throckmorton, but not in private.
What? Oh, now, Leela.
You've forgotten about our engagement. It means nothing. Remember, absolutely nothing.
That's the trouble with women. They're so literal-minded.
You forgot your hat.
Oh! Gee. Gosh, if anybody saw us now, they'd think we were married.
Mrs. Ransom, Unc?
We had a very satisfactory interview.
She went for it, huh?
We had a satisfactory interview.
I guess she kind of liked the idea, huh?
She threw me out of the house. Now go to bed.
What a character.
Good night, everybody. Yeah.
Music on this program was directed by Claude Sweet. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products, inviting you to listen again next week for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve.
Remember, there are delicious prepared mustards, too, in Kraft's famous line of quality foods. For more zestful enjoyment of salads, sandwich meats, hot-cooked vegetables, and deviled eggs, add the delightful flavor tang of Kraft Salad Mustard. This tangy, golden Kraft Salad Mustard is spiced just right for most everyone's taste, blends smoothly into cooked dishes, adds lip-smacking flavor to gravies and barbecue sauce. Your family and guests are sure to like Kraft Salad Mustard. It's so appetizing in so many tempting ways. You'll want to try this other delicious variety, too, Kraft Mustard with nippy horseradish added. It's just a bit sharper and oh so tasty when added to a sauce for shrimp or spread on cold meat cuts. Buy both of these grand flavor treats, nippy Kraft horseradish mustard and tangy golden Kraft Salad Mustard. Tomorrow, ask for Kraft quality mustard.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products, presents Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve. Kraft brings you The Great Gildersleeve every week at this time, written by John Wayton and Sam Moore, with music by Claude Sweeten. The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. Some foods may be scarce, but there's plenty of good, wholesome bread, thanks to America's hard-working farmers, millers, and bakers. So have your family eat plenty of bread at every meal, and be sure to serve delicious Parquet margarine with it. Parquet is the quality spread for bread that's made by Kraft. And Kraft quality in margarine means flavor that's fresh, delicate, satisfying. Parquet margarine makes bread, hot toast, pancakes, and waffles taste extra good. And it's extra nourishing, too. Parquet margarine is actually one of the best energy foods you can serve. What's more, Kraft guarantees every pound of Parquet to contain 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So remember, the next time you buy bread, also buy the spread that adds such nourishing goodness to it. Ask for Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Yes, Kraft makes Parquet. Now let's join the Great Gildersleeve, whom we find sitting quietly in his parlor reading the evening paper. He'd be feeling completely contented except for a slight pang of hunger, which makes him a little edgy with certain people. His nephew, Leroy, for example.
Hey, Unc.
I'm trying to read the paper, Leroy.
Yeah, give me the comic page, will you?
You may have the paper when I have finished.
Oh, gosh, you always read the real estate page and everything.
Supper's almost ready.
Leroy, would you mind getting your junk out of the living room, please? I'm expecting company this evening.
You must be. Look at her hair, Unc.
Huh? Well, something new, my dear.
Oh, I've tried it before, but not in public. Like it?
Very nice. Gives a very nice effect.
Would you please make Leroy move his junk?
Who's coming, for corn's sake? Major Bong?
Oh, he's married. Keith Kelsey's dropping in for a while.
Keith Kelsey? No kidding, Marge, is he?
What's so wonderful about that?
Well, he's the best hockey player they've had at Summerfield High in 20 years. Besides, I thought he was going around with Francie.
He was.
Gee, congratulations, Marge. Gosh, I never thought...
Just a moment, Leroy. May I ask who this young man is, Marjorie?
Leroy just told you. The coach says he's the best hockey player we've had in 20 years.
Just a minute. This fellow's named Keith Kelsey, you say?
Yes.
I don't trust any boy named Keith.
Keith, that's silly.
Oh, it's silly, is it? Isn't he one of the fellows that was mixed up in that mischief down at the high school last year?
What mischief?
You know what I'm talking about. That gang that kidnapped the Polish janitor so the school had no heat.
Yeah, he thought up the whole thing.
Oh, he did not think it up.
Well, chances are he did think it up, but that's not the question. Was he involved in it?
Well, they used his car.
Oh, he's got a car, eh?
Yeah, he had a souped-up Ford, but he couldn't get gas, so he had to soup it down again.
If it was his car, he must have been one of the ringleaders in the kidnapping. A very dangerous stunt.
Dangerous?
It endangered the health of hundreds of high school pupils and teachers.
Oh, nobody got sick. They all went home. It was perfect.
Well, I don't trust this boy. I don't want you seeing too much of him, my dear.
I don't see why.
I knew a fellow named Keith in college. He was no good either. Keith Robinson.
But Keith Kelsey was the best hockey player in the state, practically. I think it's a great honor if he wants to come here, even.
I don't care if he's the best hockey player in the world.
He has wavy hair, too.
Marjorie, you're talking like a lovesick schoolgirl.
I'm not lovesick.
Well, no boy is perfect, and you better understand that right now. You be very careful with this young man.
Oh, I will. Please make Leroy get his junk out of here, Unky.
Move your junk, Leroy.
Okay. Gosh, I hope you'll at least let me say hello to him.
Yes, but that's all.
Couldn't I talk to him a little?
No.
Hey, Unc, if I talked to him, I could kind of keep an eye on him and Marge.
No, my boy. If there's to be any chaperoning, I'll take care of it. I hope none will be necessary, my dear.
Oh, this is all so embarrassing. I almost wish he wasn't coming. But not really.
Marge.
Oh, no, I'll go. No, wait a minute. Maybe you better answer it, Leroy. I want to go upstairs and make sure my hair's all right.
Your hair is perfectly all right, my dear. Good enough for anybody.
Well, I want to look at it anyway.
Go on. Answer the door, Leroy.
Okay. Hi.
Hello. Is Marjorie...
Yeah, come on in. I'm her brother.
Oh.
My name's Leroy. I saw you playing the game against Riverton.
Oh, you did? That was a pretty good game. Is your sister here?
Yeah, she went upstairs to fix her hair.
Oh.
Take off your coat, why don't you?
Yeah, okay.
You want to see my skates? I just got them for Christmas. Look, tubulars.
Yeah. They probably wouldn't stand up very long in a game.
No, not in a real game. Well, they're just a cheap pair. Can't get decent skates these days. You want to see my stick?
Well, Oh, hello, Marge.
Hello, Keith. I thought you weren't coming. I was upstairs doing my geometry.
Oh, you were?
Here's my hockey stick, Keith. It's regulation.
Yeah. See, that's all right. You left-handed?
No, why?
Well, that's a left-handed stick. You'll never raise the puck off the ice with that.
So that's it. Well, for corn's sake, I want...
Leroy.
What? I'll go in a minute.
Well, Marjorie, is this the young man you were telling me about?
Oh, yes. This is my Uncle Mort, Keith.
Just call me Mr. Gildersleeve.
How are you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I'm very well, thank you. Suppose we step into the parlor for a moment.
Yeah, let's all go in the parlor.
Not you, Leroy. You go upstairs and get at your homework.
Well, it's all done, practically.
Leroy.
Okay. You know, I might talk to Piggy about trading hockey sticks. So long, Keith.
So long.
Now, young man, sit down. Tell me something about yourself.
Oh, Unky.
Well, there isn't much to tell about me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I wonder if I know your father.
It could be. He has the Oldsmobile agency there on State Street.
Yeah?
Right now, he's selling Venetian blinds made out of plastic.
Oh, I see.
You're the water commissioner, aren't you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes.
I'd like to see that pump sometime out at the reservoir. It must be quite a piece of machinery.
Oh, it is. If I didn't have a darn good engineer out there, it wouldn't run 10 minutes.
Is that a fact?
Yes, my boy, that's a fact. That's one thing I'm very good at. I know how to pick a good man.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. And don't you ever forget it. Well, I'll leave you young people now. Go in my study and do a little reading.
Okay. Glad to have met you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, yes.
Funny old duck, isn't he?
Oh, he's all right.
Sure. Say, you look pretty.
I'm glad you think so.
Come on, get your hat and coat and we'll go over and join the gang.
What gang?
Oh, the gang. They're over at Barney's Beanery. Pete and Sally and Henry and Grace and all the rest of the gang. Come on, we'll have some fun.
Oh, it sounds darling, but I'll have to ask Uncle Mort if I can go.
You want me to ask him?
No, I better. He's kind of funny.
He sure looks funny. Well, go ahead and tell him you're going out.
Okay. Be with you in a second. Oh, excuse me, Unky.
You haven't been talking very loud, Marjorie.
Haven't we? We didn't want to disturb you.
A quiet murmur would disturb me far less than complete silence, my dear.
It would? Well, I just wanted to tell you we're going out for a little while.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Now, Unky, I'm only going to Barney's Beanery. The gang's all over there.
What gang?
Oh, everybody.
In that souped-up car? No, sir.
It isn't souped up anymore.
Well, soup down, then. I don't know this boy, Marjorie.
I'm not asking you to go out with him.
Listen, if that young fellow wants to spend any time with you, he can spend it here, or I know what's going on.
Unky, not so loud.
Why can't I talk loud? This is my own house, isn't it?
But, Unky...
You tell Master Keith that I won't let you go out this evening. If he wants to see you, he can stay here.
Oh.
Well, all set?
I'm sorry, Keith. He says I can't go out. Couldn't you possibly stay here?
Well, I promised the gang I'd be over. I thought I could bring you naturally.
Naturally. Well, if you promised them.
Yeah. Gee, that's too bad. If only I hadn't promised
Sure, you have to keep a promise.
I guess so. Well, some other time, huh, Marge?
If you want.
Oh, you bet. Oh, here's my coat. Oh, so long.
So long.
Gee, now I've done it. Eat your prunes, Leroy.
I am. Shoot the cream, will you, Unc?
Cream is unnecessary on prunes, my boy.
Yeah, but it sure helps.
There's a war on. What's keeping Marjorie?
I don't know. Maybe she overslept. Maybe she was out late with Keith.
Don't talk so much and eat your prunes.
Okay, gosh, all I was doing was asking...
Eat your prunes.
Miss Gildersleeve, you ready for your egg?
Yes, Bertie. Egg, did you say?
Yes, sir, there's only one. Eggman didn't come yesterday, and he's been acting kind of high and mighty lately, and I ain't surprised that he didn't show up.
If he comes back, be good to him, Bertie.
Yes, sir, I'll bake him a cake.
Fine situation. You have to treat the Eggman like visiting royalty.
Those are the breaks, kid.
Yes.
Oh, here's Marge. Hi.
Hi.
Good morning, my dear.
Pass the sugar, will you, please, Leroy?
Here. Have a good time with Keith last night, Marge?
Wonderful. Uncle Mort practically kicked him out of the house.
What?
Now, Marjorie.
Keith had a date with a gang, and Uncle Mort wouldn't let me go along.
Gosh, Unc, you must be nuts. Keith's the best hockey player that ever came to see her. She's liable to wind up with somebody that can't even skate.
You stay out of this, Leroy.
Yes, you lonesome egg, Miss Gildersleeve. Morning, Miss Marjorie.
Good morning, Bertie.
You feel like some oatmeal this morning?
No, thank you, Bertie. Just my grapefruit and some toast, I guess.
I'd offer you an egg, but there ain't any.
Would you like my egg, Marjorie?
You want your uncle's egg, honey?
No, thank you, Bertie.
Marjorie feels I treated her unfairly last night, Bertie. I refused to allow her to go to a nightclub with a young man I know nothing about.
A nightclub? He's talking about Barney's Beanery, Bertie. And there's nothing the matter with Keith Kelsey either.
I didn't say there was anything the matter with him, Bertie. I just don't want Marjorie running around with strangers.
He is not a stranger, Bertie. I've known him ever since the 6th grade, only he never noticed me before.
Yeah, I've seen him play hockey, too.
I told you to stay out of this, Leroy.
I'm leaving anyway. Cheer up, Marge. Maybe everything will be okay.
Thanks, Leroy. I don't think there's much hope.
Now, it ain't as bad as all that, child.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Oh, no, it isn't. Keith is the nicest boy in the Summerfield High School, and he's always gone around with other girls like Francie and Eleanor Sloan. And now the first time he's even noticed me, you treat him like a criminal.
But
You cross-examine him. You practically tell him you're going to listen to every word we say. And then you won't let me go out to a perfectly innocent place with him.
Marjorie, please.
All my life, I've been waiting for just one nice boy. But if I'd known how you were going to treat him, well, it'll be your fault if I wind up an old maid.
You won't be an old maid, Marge. I'll stick with you.
You go to school.
Finish your breakfast, Miss Marjorie?
I'm finished.
Confounded, Bertie. I'm just trying to do the right thing by the girl.
I know it, Miss Gildersleeve.
What she needs is a mother.
I expect you're right. You ain't making any plans along them lines, is you?
Oh, no. Must be Judge Hooker, Bertie. It's his turn to drive me downtown.
I'll let him in, Miss Gildersleeve. You finish the talk.
Thank you.
Morning, Judge.
And a good morning to you, Bertie. Is the Lord of the Manor ready to fare forth on the highway?
Not quite, Judge. And he ain't feeling so chipper either.
Oh? Well, Throckmorton, what's eating you this morning?
I don't know, Horace. Marjorie thinks I'm scaring away her boyfriends.
Well, are you?
I don't know what to do. I don't know how anybody raises children. Heaven knows I'm no expert.
No, you're not.
I suppose what the child really needs is a mother. But I don't want to get mixed up with any more women.
Well, there are plenty of women in the family. Children have several aunts.
Yeah?
Why don't you invite one of them for a visit? Better stay a few days and straighten things out.
Not a bad idea, Horace. Let me see. Catherine's got kids of her own. She couldn't come.
Hattie's a good, sensible woman.
Yeah, and may the Lord deliver me from good, sensible women.
What's the matter with Hilda?
Yeah, I always liked Hilda. Got a little bounce to her.
Shoot her a wire.
I might do that.
Quiet. Here comes Marjorie. Well, Marjorie,
Good morning, Judge.
you're looking as fresh as a bright May morning.
Thank you.
Well, my dear, off to school now, I suppose. Yep, off to school.
Frank Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. To help our nation's industries meet increased production quotas, we'll all have to pitch in and work even harder these next critical months of the war. Well, that's going to call for extra energy, and here's an economical food that provides energy galore. It's Parquet margarine. Yes, Parquet margarine, the delicious spread for bread that's made by Kraft. Parquet is one of the best energy foods you can serve, and besides furnishing food energy, every pound of Parquet margarine contains 9,000 units of vitamin A. Now, that's important, too, because every time you spread Parquet on bread, biscuits, rolls, and muffins, you add more nourishing goodness to these other wholesome foods. So, for food energy, for vitamin A, and for downright good eating, buy and serve Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine. Remember, Kraft makes this nutritious spread for America's bread. Yes, Kraft makes Parquet. Well, let's get back now to Summerfield and see what's going on. And if you want to know what's going on in Summerfield, there isn't a better place to find out than Peavy's Pharmacy. Of course, the noon-hour rush is over, and the proprietor usually catches a short nap back in his prescription room during the lull that follows, but, well, let's drop in there anyway. Uh-oh, he's got a customer at the soda fountain, and it's Marjorie.
Do you find that milkshake to your liking, Marjorie?
It's fine.
That's good. Not too sweet?
Can't be too sweet.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Then it's a matter of taste, I suppose. I don't want to appear to pry, Marjorie, but shouldn't you be in school now?
I should, but I'm not.
So I see. You're sure that won't lead to trouble?
What do I care?
Yeah, that's hard to answer. Finished?
I'll have another.
Another chocolate malt?
Make it a double.
Oh, Marjorie, I'm afraid 2 of these would make you sick.
What do I care?
Well, you're the customer. 2 chocolate malts, I don't know what's it.
Mr. Peavy,
Yes?
were you ever in love?
Was I ever in love? Well, I guess I must have been. I'm married.
Oh, I mean seriously.
I'd say it was serious. People don't just get married for the fun of it.
Well, did you ever fall in love with someone who never paid you a bit of attention, never even looked at you, and you thought you'd just die if he didn't? And then all of a sudden he did, and you were so happy. And then your uncle came along and spoiled it?
No, I can't say that I ever found myself in exactly that situation.
Then you don't know how empty life can be. The complete futility of it all.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, you wouldn't know. What good is life? What good is anything? What good is education? I asked myself that at lunch today, and during recess I just walked out.
And that's why you're here.
Yes. I thought you were the one person who'd understand.
Well,
I'm a little afraid to go back now. I'm a little afraid to go home. But why should I be? It's my life. And what good is it? Just tell me, Mr. Peavy. What is there to live for?
Well, you've still got a chocolate malt coming.
Mr. Peavy, I thought you were a friend. If I thought you were going to laugh at me...
I don't mean to laugh at you, Marjorie, but just think. You're how old? 16. You've still got a few things to look forward to. You've still got a few years left before you shuffle off. After all, there's always tomorrow, you know.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow goes on this petty pace from day to day. That's Shakespeare.
Yeah, I know. I forgot your chocolate malt. I want you to understand, Marjorie, the pharmacy accepts no responsibility for this. We usually serve only one of these to a customer. Oh, here comes your uncle.
My uncle?
Coming right across the street there.
Oh, I can't let him see me. Mr. Peavy, please, could I go out the back way?
Well, it's not customary, but I don't see any harm.
Right through the prescription room there. You'll find the door.
I'll pay you next time.
That's all right. Oh, don't fall over the ash can in the alley. Don't mind a little hide and seek, but I don't want to be responsible for any broken bones here. Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Peavy.
What can I do for you?
Oh, give me a chocolate malt.
You too?
What do you mean?
Nothing. There's your malt.
Huh?
Right there in front of you. I just mixed it.
You must be a mind reader.
No, I mixed it for a customer who was just in here, but he was suddenly called out of town. I take it you didn't have any dessert for lunch.
I didn't have any lunch. Didn't feel like it. Didn't feel like working either. I didn't get a thing done at the office all morning. Confounded Peavy, one girl can be more trouble than 6 boys.
Is that a fact?
Now, you take Leroy. I have to holler at him a lot, but at least we understand each other. But Marjorie... Do you know she hasn't spoken to me for 3 days? I ask you, is that any way for a girl to treat her old uncle?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Gildersleeve, girls will be girls.
You think so?
No, absolutely.
Well, maybe you're right.
Now, when a girl gets to be Marjorie's age, she's apt to get the idea that nobody understands her.
How do you know so much about girls?
Well, I happen to be married to one. And she still thinks nobody understands her. At times. And at times I'm ready to agree with her.
What do you do about it?
Well, in Mrs. Peavy's case, I just go take a walk. But with Marjorie, it's a little different. I'd say what she needs is the companionship of young people her own age.
Well, you could be right. There's such a thing as seeing too much of Leroy.
I see Marjorie come in here with her young friends in the afternoon, and they giggle and gossip and talk nonsense. That's what girls want at that age. I guess that's what they want at any age.
Peavy? You know what? You give me an idea.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yes, you have, by George. You give me an idea.
You're not going. You haven't touched the milkshake.
Sell it to the next man who comes in.
I've sold it twice already.
You play it right, you can run it up into a fortune. Peavy, you know what I'm going to do?
No, what are you going to do, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I'm going to put an end to all this nonsense. I've thought of a way to make Marjorie forget her troubles.
Yes?
I'm going to give her a party, a surprise party.
Now you're getting somewhere.
Yes, sir. I'll invite all her girlfriends over, and I'll just leave them there to giggle and gossip to their heart's content.
You mean you're only going to invite the girlfriends?
Yeah, only your girlfriends. It's strictly a hen party.
Well, but...
Plenty of good food, no grown-ups, no boys to spoil the party. She'll love it, Peavy. Well, so long, Peavy. Thanks for the idea.
I don't think he ever got the idea.
Well, that's 5 of them, Leroy. Penny, Linda, Martha, Virginia, and Francie. Can you think of any other girls I ought to invite?
No, but there's a couple of those you shouldn't invite. Francie, for instance.
That's ridiculous. Her father and mother are very good friends of mine.
Just the same, she and Marge aren't even talking to each other.
Well, that's nonsense, and I'm not going to encourage it. Uh-oh, here's Bertie. Well, what luck, Bertie?
Miss Gildersleeve, I've been to every market in this town, but I couldn't find no marshmallows, only in one place.
Oh, you got 'em then?
No, sir, I didn't.
Why not?
'Cause the man made me mad. He told me if I wanted to buy a box of marshmallows, I'd have to buy 2 boxes of bran and a bottle of no-good brass polish.
Why, the dirty crook. Well, never mind the marshmallows. We'll think of something else. Must be something girls like to do besides toast marshmallows. Oh, I know. Make fudge.
Oh, boy.
Now, here's what I planned. The girls will arrive at 8 o'clock. It'll be a big surprise. They'll all go down to the roller skating rink and skate there till 10. Then they'll come home here and have a snack and make fudge. Don't you think Marjorie will like that, Leroy?
I suppose so. Girls are crazy.
It'll be a nice, wholesome evening.
You're not kidding.
Well, I better go and get started on the sandwiches.
Now, wait a minute. When Marjorie gets home, don't anybody say anything to her about this, you understand?
Oh, I won't say a word.
Just pretend that nothing's happened. Let her go on as she has been. If she doesn't want to talk to anybody at dinner, okay, let her alone. I want this to be a surprise. We'll have some fun out of it, eh, Leroy?
How am I going to have any fun out of it?
Well, she'll be sitting there like a thundercloud all through dinner with no idea of what's in store for her. But we'll know, won't we?
It's her.
Evening, Miss Marjorie.
Good evening, Bertie. Leroy, I saw your snowman outside. It's simply super. Unky, darling, you're wearing the tie I gave you. Oh, but you must let me straighten it for you.
Huh?
There. Now give me a nice kiss.
Huh?
How soon's dinner, Bertie?
Any minute now.
I'll be right down.
What's come over her?
You tell me.
Oh, Uncle Morris,
Yes, my dear?
I want to apologize. I guess I haven't been very nice these last few days.
Well, I guess I wasn't very understanding.
Well, it's all right now. Everything's all right. Everything's wonderful.
You just gonna leave us guessing, or you're gonna tell us what happened?
Leroy, would you be a dear, sweet boy and go away so I can talk to Uncle Morris?
Oh, for corn's sake, all I ever do is get sent away.
Never mind. You can stay. I don't care who knows. Guess what? I ran into Keith this afternoon, and he said he'd been looking for me. I wasn't looking for him. He was looking for me. And guess what he said about Francie? He said she was too old-fashioned. He said she was conventional.
I don't know that you can hang a girl for that.
Well, that's not all. I'm going to see him again tonight.
Well, now, my dear.
Oh, it's all right this time. It's perfectly all right. He's coming over here.
Over here tonight? Oh,
it's all right, Uncle Mort. We're going to do our geometry together.
Well, that's fine, my dear, but the thing is, I've arranged a little sort of a surprise party for you and some of your girlfriends. I told them you'd all go roller skating.
Tonight?
Yeah, the girls are coming at 8.
Yeah, Francie and Penny.
Francie coming here? Ye gods, Keith is coming at 8:30. Oh, this is terrible.
No, Marjorie.
Oh, why did you do it? Oh, Uncle Mort.
Don't worry, I'll handle it. I'll take them skating myself.
Oh, Unky, would you?
Did I say that?
Don't worry, Unc. Roller skating isn't hard.
No, but the floor is. My dear?
Yes. A telegram came. I didn't know whether to open it or not.
Oh, I know what it is. It's from Aunt Hilda.
Aunt Hilda, there's nothing wrong.
No, I wrote to her and asked her if she wouldn't come and stay with us for a few days. Don't you think that'd be nice?
Oh, I'd love it. Aunt Hilda's such fun.
Good old Aunt Hilda. I knew she'd come. It was only to get away from Hattie. Yeah. Now, let's see what she has to say. Sorry, unable to come. Frank home on leave. Hattie coming instead. What? Hattie coming instead? Arrived 7:45 Tuesday. Oh, my goodness. How did I ever get into this?
Aunt Hattie.
Well, those are the breaks, kid. Good night, my dear. Good night, everybody.
Music on this program was written by Claude Sweet. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products, inviting you to listen in again next week for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve.
Remember, there are delicious prepared mustards, too, in Kraft's famous line of quality foods. For more zestful enjoyment of salads, sandwich meats, hot-cooked vegetables, and deviled eggs, add the delightful flavor tang of Kraft Salad Mustard. This tangy, golden Kraft Salad Mustard is spiced just right for most everyone's taste, blends smoothly into cooked dishes, adds lip-smacking flavor to gravies and barbecue sauce. Your family and guests are sure to like Kraft Salad Mustard. It's so appetizing in so many tempting ways. You'll want to try this other delicious variety, too, Kraft Mustard with nippy horseradish added. It's just a bit sharper and oh so tasty when added to a sauce for shrimp or spread on cold meat cuts. Buy both of these grand flavor treats, nippy Kraft Horseradish Mustard and tangy golden Kraft Salad Mustard. Tomorrow, ask for Kraft Quality Mustard.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve.
Yeah, Kraft.
The Kraft Cheese Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. Kraft brings you the Great Gildersleeve every week at this time, written by John Wheaton and Sam Moore, with music by Claude Sweet. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. We've just made the interesting discovery that there are 600 ways you can enjoy Parquet margarine as a spread for bread. And we came to this interesting conclusion thanks to a new book. Would you believe it? This new book gives nearly 600 recipes for bread. So we figured it this way. Parquet margarine tastes well on any kind of bread. And since there are nearly 600 varieties, well, there's practically no end to the ways you can enjoy Parquet's fresh, delicate flavor on bread. And remember, Parquet is highly nourishing, too. It's one of the very best energy foods you can serve. What's more, Kraft guarantees every pound of Parquet to contain 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So be sure to buy Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine, a nutritious spread for America's bread. Don't forget, Parquet is made by Kraft. Let us turn now to the Great Gildersleeve. For a week, he's had as his house guest Aunt Hattie Forrester, who has volunteered to help straighten out his nephew and niece, a matter which he's been happy to leave entirely in her hands. We won't say that Gildersleeve has been avoiding Aunt Hattie, but the pressure of business at the water department has suddenly become so great that for the last 3 nights he's had to stay downtown for dinner. And this morning, his fatigue is such that he's allowed Bertie to persuade him to have breakfast served to him in bed, while the rest of the family have theirs downstairs.
Breakfast upstairs, breakfast downstairs. Think it was a hotel.
Oh, Bertie!
Yes, sir.
Send Leroy up for the newspaper, will you? I want to see where the Russians are.
Yes, sir, I'll do that.
Now try and eat nicely, Leroy, like Marjorie.
Excuse me, Miss Forrester.
Yes, Bertie?
Leroy, honey, run upstairs to your uncle with the newspaper, will you? I got to take his tray out to the kitchen.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah?
You can't be jumping up from the table in the middle of meals, Leroy. Finish your breakfast.
But Unc asked for the paper.
Yes, ma'am. He wants to see where the Russians are.
The Russians can wait.
They ain't done much waiting lately. I'll take the paper up, Leroy, as soon as we get a chance.
Eat your breakfast.
Pilot to bombardier. Pass the buns.
Bombardier to pilot, buns away.
Roger.
Wilco.
What on earth are you children talking about?
That's Air Corps talk. Shoot the buns along, will you, Aunt Hattie?
Bertie!
I'm coming, Miss Gildersleeve. Coming in a minute.
Oh, this house. What did you say, Leroy?
Shoot us a bun, will you?
Is that any way to ask for it?
Please, may I have a bun?
Yes, Leroy, you may.
Thank you, Aunt Hattie.
Really?
Bertie! Oh, Bertie!
That man.
It's him. He wants something. I'm coming, Miss Gildersleeve.
Bertie, just a minute.
Yes, ma'am?
Tell me, does Mr. Gildersleeve often sleep through breakfast like this?
Oh, he ain't asleep. He's just resting.
It's because he's been working so hard these last few days.
Are you kidding?
Shut up.
That's right. It's because he's been working so hard.
Does he often fail to come home to dinner?
Well, just these last few days. But it's like Miss Marjorie said. It's on account of him working so hard.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am, he sure is a hard-working man, Mr. Gildersleeve. That's all he does is work. Work, work, work. He's a hard-working man. Yes, ma'am, he works hard.
Well, be that as it may, we ought to stick to some kind of a schedule. After all...
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I was coming right up.
Yeah, well, that's all right, Bertie.
Good morning, Uncle Mort.
Good morning, my dear. Hattie, hope you'll excuse the bathrobe. I just thought if you'd finished with the paper.
I was just saying to Bertie, Throckmorton, I think it's important to the children that we establish some kind of a household schedule here and stick to it.
Great idea. Hand me the paper, will you, Leroy? Thank you.
Now, I thought if we had breakfast every morning at 7:30 sharp.
By George, those Russians.
Do you hear, Throckmorton? I'd suggest breakfast at 7:30.
You hear that, kids?
And I think we should have lunch at 1 o'clock every day, Bertie, and dinner at 6:30.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, my great-grandmother on her father's side was part Russian. You can't stop the Russians. Or was she French?
Throckmorton, are you listening? I said dinner at 6:30.
Oh, I'm listening. Yeah, make a note of that, Bertie. Dinner at 6.
6:30. And I think the hour before dinner should be the quiet hour, when we all get together and just enjoy each other's company. That's the way it always was at home.
Great idea. What do you know? Harry Beck's gone through bankruptcy again. I wonder how many times that makes it.
Now, we'll start by getting up at 7 o'clock every morning.
All of us?
All of us.
You hear that, Unc?
Just do as your aunt says, my boy. Don't bother me. I'm reading.
And we go to bed at 9.
9? Nobody I know goes to bed before 10.
To bed at 9, Marjorie, with lights out at 9:15. You'll see what a difference it makes. You'll be glad to get up in the mornings. And your uncle will find he can accomplish more, too.
Wait a minute. Are you including me in this?
I'm including everybody. A schedule isn't a schedule if we don't all stick to it.
Oh, now, Hattie, after all, I'm not 16, you know.
How do you expect the children to do anything if you don't set them an example? Either we have a schedule or we don't. Besides, the children will be much better off. I'm sure Leroy will get better marks in school if he gets plenty of sleep for a change.
There's nothing the matter with Leroy's marks now. He got nothing but A's on his last report card. Didn't you, Leroy?
Yeah, that's right.
We're none of us so perfect we can't improve. Even Leroy.
Say, Unc,
Yeah?
speaking of report cards,
Yes?
never mind, I'll take it up with you later.
What is it, my boy?
Well, since you brought it up, I got my marks for the term.
Where are they?
I got my report card here. Just a sec.
Why haven't I seen this card before, Leroy? The new term started a week ago.
Well, I forgot.
Oh, you forgot.
Well, I knew you were busy.
Oh, I was busy.
Well, I was going to show it to you. I was going to show it to you Monday. So it wouldn't spoil your weekend.
Let me see that report card.
There.
Leroy.
I can't imagine what happened, Unc. I got all A's last time, remember? Teacher must have had it in for me.
I'll tell you what happened. You didn't do a lick of work all month. That's what happened.
Yes, I did. I worked hard. Didn't I, Marge? Didn't I, Bertie?
You worked so hard you just barely got through with the skin of your teeth.
Honest, Unc.
There's no excuse for this, my boy. No excuse whatever. You're perfectly capable of doing good work. It's sheer laziness. By George, if I'd got those marks, I know what my father would have done. I've got a good mind to take you upstairs right now, young man, and...
No, Unc, please.
Now, Throckmorton.
Keep out of this, Hattie. Young man, go up to your room and remove your trousers.
But, Unc.
You heard me. Take off your pants.
Throckmorton, that's no way to handle a child. It's contrary to all child psychology.
She's right. I'll do better next month, Unc.
You take off your pants right now.
He'll do nothing of the sort.
I think I'd better go see somebody about something.
Look, may I make so bold as to ask who's running this family?
No one, evidently.
Well...
How can you expect a child to do any better in an environment like this?
Yeah.
What's the matter with this environment?
It's a madhouse. Meals at irregular hours, children staying up as late as they please. You don't come home for dinner, you don't get up for breakfast.
There's a reason for that.
How can you expect them to amount to anything?
Yeah.
If you think that you can make up for your shortcomings now by beating the boy, well, all I can say is I have no use for any man who would strike a child.
Thanks, Aunt Hattie.
You shut up.
I think I'll go and call up Penny.
You stay where you are.
Who, me?
Marjorie hasn't done anything, Throckmorton.
That's right. Contradict me. Ridicule me. Turn my family against me.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
All right. Have your own way. Do as you like. Coddle a boy. Spoil him. From now on, I wash my hands of all responsibility. I wash my hands completely. Can't even be master in my own house. By George, I got half a mind to go back to bed and stay there till Easter.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Peavy.
Nice day.
Is it?
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I wouldn't know, Peavy. I wouldn't know. You mind if I sit down?
Not at all. Those seats are placed there for the convenience of our customers.
Thank you.
You look like a man who has something on his mind, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, I want to complain about my sister-in-law. Do you mind?
Miss Forrester?
Yeah. You know what she's doing? She's trying to turn Leroy against me.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that.
Well, she is. She's tried to make me out a monster in my own home, a brute, just because I try to maintain a little good old-fashioned discipline. Wants me to spare the rod and spoil the child.
Leroy been getting into a little devilment, has he?
Devilment? He darn near got flunked out of school.
Well, I wouldn't worry about Leroy. He's a pretty smart boy.
That's just the trouble. He's smart enough to know that if he can get away with it this once, he can try it again. No, sir, the only thing that'll do that boy any good is a good sound larrapin.
Well, now,
I know the type, Peavy. I was one myself, and my old man gave it to me plenty.
Well, of course, I haven't any boys of my own. Mrs. Peavy and I have often regretted that we haven't. But I'd be inclined to try kindness first.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Peavy. I love Leroy. Why, I'd cut off my own right arm rather than harm a hair of his little head.
I'm sure you would.
But by George, he's either going to cut out this loafing and get down to business, or I'll thrash the living daylights out of him.
You know, speaking of thrashing puts me in mind of a book I read as a boy, Little Men. Did you ever read Little Men, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I seem to remember it vaguely.
Louisa May Alcott, fine writer. Same lady who wrote Little Women.
Yeah, I know.
Only this one was about little men. A boys' school. Well, one of the boys did something bad. I forget just what. And Professor Bear, who was a kindly old gentleman, instead of whipping the boy, he made the boy whip him.
What?
Yeah, gave the boy a ruler, told him to hit him across the palm of his hand as hard as he could.
What happened?
Well, the boy just couldn't bring himself to do it, because he loved the old gentleman. Professor Bear insisted, but the boy just couldn't do it. He threw the ruler down and ran off and cried his heart out. And he never was a bad boy anymore.
By George.
I've always thought that was pretty smart of Professor Bear. Pretty sound psychology.
Yeah.
What's the joke, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Thinks I'm a monster, does she? Calls herself a child psychologist, eh? Gonna teach me how to run my home, is she? Peavy, here's where I show up, Aunt Hattie.
Well, Throckmorton, lunch is ready. We hardly thought that you would be late for the first day.
I'll be right with you, Hattie. Sit down if you want to. Where's Leroy?
Oh, Leroy?
Yes, Aunt Hattie. Coming, Aunt Hattie.
I want a word with you, Leroy.
You wanted a word with me?
Yes. I've been thinking over your school marks and how I ought to punish you for them.
Now, Throckmorton, I thought we agreed.
Please, Hattie, just leave this to me. I want you to go into my study, Leroy, and bring me the ruler, which you will find in the long desk drawer.
You want the ruler, you say?
You heard me. Go and get it.
Throckmorton, I totally disapprove of this. In fact,
You don't know what I'm going to do. You keep your eyes open, you may learn a thing or two about child psychology.
I can't seem to find it here, Aunt.
Bring me the ruler.
Okay.
Now, give it here.
There you are. Ruler.
Now, my boy, as punishment for what you've done, I want you to take this ruler and strike me across the hand with it, as hard as you can.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. That's your punishment. Go ahead, Leroy. Hit me.
Gosh, do you mean it?
I mean it. Hit me.
Hard.
As hard as you can.
Okay.
Oh! Why, you little devil! You savage! If I catch you, I'll break every bone in your little body. And wait till I see that Peavy, him and Louisa May Alcott.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. Speaking of variety in bread, how long has it been since you served Johnny cake, gingerbread, or muffins? Lots of families like these tasty breads. Like them even more spread with delicious parquet margarine. First off, they like parquet because its flavor is so fresh, so delicate, so satisfying. And here's another reason parquet margarine goes over so big at mealtime. It's the smooth, easy way parquet spreads on bread. Why, even with crumbly breads like Johnny cake or gingerbread and muffins, parquet spreads on smooth, easy as can be. And, of course, parquet provides wonderful nourishment, too. Parquet margarine is high in food energy value, and it's fortified by Kraft so that every pound contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So buy the quality margarine that's so nourishing, so satisfying, so smooth and easy to spread. Buy Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y. Now let's get back to the great Gildersleeve and his augmented family. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's an unaccustomed atmosphere of quiet and serenity about the house. The parlor is neat with no comic books or boxing gloves scattered about the floor, no banana peels in the ashtrays. Gildersleeve sits twiddling his thumbs in his easy chair, waiting for the quiet hour to begin and dreading it.
Quiet hour. Now what?
Hi, Gildy.
Well, hello, Judge. Boy, am I glad to see you. Come on in.
Thank you. I just wondered what you were doing this evening. Jolly Boys meeting's called off.
Horace, if you're at loose ends for the evening, you've come to the right place. We're starting a new thing here. Lots of fun.
What is it?
Well, Hattie calls it the quiet hour. The family, the kids and all. We just sit around for an hour and enjoy ourselves. You want to sit in on it?
I don't think so, thank you, Gildy. I thought we might go to a picture or something.
Oh, this'll be lots more fun than a picture. Stick around.
No, I guess I'll just go home and read.
Don't leave me alone here, Horace. Hey, why not stay for supper?
No, thanks.
Well, sit down a minute and meet Aunt Hattie then.
No, I've got to go, Gildy. Sorry.
You like her, Judge? She's more fun than a barrel of monkeys. You'll be crazy about her. What are you laughing at?
I hear different, Gildy. Have a pleasant evening.
Now, if we're all comfortable,
My eye itches.
Well, don't rub it.
one of the pleasantest ways to start the quiet hour is with music. Don't you think that would be nice, children?
I guess so.
And the best music is the music we make ourselves. I think it would be nice if Leroy would play for us.
Leroy? Why, he's only taking lessons.
Yes, Marjorie. But let's ask ourselves, why does he take lessons?
Boy, that's the $1 question.
Yes, Leroy.
Leroy studies music so he can give pleasure to others.
But, Aunt Hattie, nobody gets any pleasure out of Leroy's playing.
I do. I think he plays very nicely. I think if we're all quiet and Leroy plays something, we'll enjoy it. Don't you think so, Throckmorton?
Well, go ahead and play, Leroy. And you enjoy it, Marjorie.
I'll try.
All right, Leroy.
Okay, what'll I play?
Something you know.
Dance of the Snowflakes?
No.
What about The Hunter in the Woods?
It's so corny.
Oh, gosh, what do you expect? I'm only a boy.
That's right, my boy. You play anything you want to.
Oh, I know. Here's one I can play pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, Minuet by Bach.
Fine. Bravo, my boy.
Oh, very good, Leroy. Very nice.
I thank you. Now, for my first encore,
You weren't that good.
For my first encore, I will play The Merry Farmer by Schumann.
Suppose you save that for tomorrow night, Leroy. We don't want to run through your whole repertoire in one evening.
No. I think it's time for a little poetry.
Poetry?
Yes. Do you know any poetry, Leroy?
Nah.
I know a little. I love it.
She would.
Now, Leroy, there's nothing the matter with poetry. Every educated person should learn to like poetry.
Yeah? You must know some poetry, Leroy. Don't you even know any little nursery rhymes?
Well, there's one. I don't know what you'd call it. I don't think it's a nursery rhyme, though.
Oh, let's hear it.
Nah.
Recite it, Leroy.
I don't think you'd like it.
Recite.
Okay. I woke up in the morning and looked upon the wall. There was a flea and a bedbug having a game of ball.
That'll do, Leroy.
I know a poem I think is beautiful, Aunt Hattie. We learned it for English last fall.
Oh, what is it?
Annabelle Lee.
What's it about?
Oh, it's about a man and a woman, and they were crazy about each other.
Leroy, go ahead and recite it, my dear.
Okay. It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabelle Lee.
Quiet, Leroy.
I didn't say anything. Oh!
Throckmorton. Go on, Marjorie.
Oh, let's see. Oh, gee, I've forgotten it now. I'll have to start over.
Oh, okay.
It was many and many a year ago.
Doorbell, I'll answer it.
Good evening, Leroy. Uncle home?
Oh, sure, Mrs. Ransom. He's here.
Mrs. Ransom, Hattie.
Yes, I know.
I do hope y'all will excuse me. I wouldn't want to interrupt anything.
You aren't.
Good evening, Miss Forrester, Marjorie.
Good evening, Mrs. Ransom.
Hello. Throckmorton, I just couldn't resist running over for a minute.
Glad to see you anytime, Leela.
Oh, you're a darling. Throckmorton, would you like to take me to the movies after supper?
Why, sure, Leela.
Humphrey Bogart and this new girl in the Have or Have Not. Goes on at 9:15.
I'm afraid we won't be able to go, Mrs. Ransom. We're on a new schedule here.
Schedule?
Well, yes. You see, I go to bed at 9 o'clock now, Leela.
9 o'clock? Well, mercy, if you're in your dotage, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Throckmorton has family responsibilities, Mrs. Ransom.
So I see.
Don't get me wrong, Leela. We're trying this new
Oh,
arrangement.
you don't have to explain, Throckmorton. If you want your beauty sleep more than you want a little sociability and enjoyment, it's all right with me.
You don't understand, Leela.
Oh, yes, I do. Goodbye, Throckmorton.
Leela. Excuse me, Hattie. Leela, wait a minute.
Why should I, Throckmorton?
Come out on the porch and I'll tell you. Leela, I can't let her know I'm going out.
Why not?
Well, it makes things too unpleasant, that's all. But look, she goes to bed at 9. I'll pretend to go to bed, too, and then I'll sneak out. How about it?
It sounds a little sordid, Throckmorton.
Just practical. I'll be over at your house right after 9 o'clock.
We should leave for the picture no later than 5 after 9.
Oh, I'll be there. Humphrey Bogart, you say?
And a new girl named Lauren Bacall. I'm dying to see the picture. It says they've discovered a new way to kiss.
What's the matter with the old way?
Oh, you devil, you.
I'll see you later, Leela.
All right, 9 sharp, yeah?
Don't worry. Sorry. Well, sorry to interrupt our little quiet hour, children. I had to talk a little business with Mrs. Ransom. Young man.
Marjorie, suppose you go on with your recitation.
Yes, by all means, Marjorie. Continue. It was many long years ago in the country by the sea.
Marjorie.
Okay. It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of...
Well, Leroy, bedtime.
Already?
Now, remember, Leroy, we agreed we'd go promptly.
Is it really 8 o'clock?
It certainly is. Marjorie's gone up already. Good night, my boy.
Oh, nuts. Good night. Good night, Aunt Hattie.
Would you like for me to tuck you in, Leroy?
Are you kidding?
Oh, I keep forgetting what a big boy you are. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can tuck me in if you really want to.
No, you're too big. I'll just kiss you good night.
Good night. Good night, Unc.
By George, I believe the kid's improving. How do you do it?
Oh, it's not hard, Throckmorton, with a little patience.
I guess I haven't got any. He always makes me mad. You through with the paper?
Here you are. You know, I always like to play a game of cribbage before I go to bed.
Great. You play cribbage, and I'll read the paper.
It takes 2 to play cribbage, Throckmorton.
2? Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I don't know how.
Oh, that's all right. I'll teach you. Oh, don't worry. I've taught lots of people.
Oh, Hattie, I'm not good at cards. I don't know a club from a jack.
Oh, you learn, Throckmorton. You'll learn, and you'll be crazy about it. 15-2, 15-4, and a pair of 6, and a double run is 12. Go.
Go?
I've explained that to you, Throckmorton. Have you played?
Oh, let's see. I've got a pair.
Muggins.
What?
Didn't I explain Muggins to you?
No.
Well, when you make a mistake, I can call Muggins, and I get a point. That puts me out.
Muggins, you mean the game's over?
That's right. I won. Didn't you enjoy it?
Oh, yes.
Let's play one more.
Oh, but Hattie, it's almost 9 o'clock.
Well...
Kind of tired tonight. Yeah, it's about time to turn in. Get a little good old shut-eye.
Well, I suppose we'd better stick to our schedule.
Yeah, that's right. Regularity, that's the thing.
Throckmorton, I didn't want to bring this up while the children were here. But this Mrs. Ransom, where is her husband?
Oh, he died a couple of years ago.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Why?
Well, she looks like the divorcee kind to me.
Now, Hattie, she's a very nice woman.
Well, I dare say she's all right in her way. It's none of my business anyway.
Well...
let's play one more game of cribbage, Throckmorton.
But, Hattie, it's 9 o'clock. It's 2 minutes after 9.
Oh, what's the difference? One game, maybe 15 minutes. The important thing is to be sound asleep by 10.
I've got to be sound asleep at 5 after 9.
Oh, silly. One game. Now, come on, I'll deal.
Yes,
I remember when I taught my sister Hilda to play cribbage. She didn't like it at first, and then after a while, she was crazy about it.
I'll never learn it.
Oh, yes, you will. You're catching on very fast. Pick up your hands, Throckmorton.
But I don't want to play.
Oh, no. These are the ones you pick up.
Confound it, Hattie.
Now, who on earth can that be?
I haven't any idea.
I'll answer.
No. Let me answer it.
Well, go ahead and answer it, Throckmorton.
No, I guess I better not.
Shall I?
No, don't answer it, Hattie. It's probably just somebody who wants to complain about the water department. I've told them not to switch those calls here. Let it ring. Yeah, let it ring.
Very well, Throckmorton. Go ahead and play. It's your play, Throckmorton. Throckmorton, your play.
Oh, muggins. I want to say a lot about Kraft in the tag, though.
You will peg out for Kraft every time.
Another Kraft quality.
Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, makers of parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products, inviting you to join us again next week at the same time for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve.
Good night, Mr. Kraft.
Another Kraft quality food product that's sure to add flavor sparkle to your meals is Kraft's salad mustard. This tangy golden salad mustard is prepared to Kraft's own special recipe. It's a creamy smooth blend of choice stone ground mustard seed, fragrant spices, and mellowed aromatic vinegar, aged to develop a finer, more delicate flavor. And remember, this tangy Kraft salad mustard can be used in foods and on them with taste-tingling results.
Love that Kraft.
It adds a grand flavor tang to salad dressings. For except cream sauces you pour over hot-cooked vegetables. Zips up the flavor of egg and cheese dishes. Kraft salad mustard is a real flavored treat on sausage and cold cuts, too. And say, there's another zestful variety, Kraft mustard with nippy horseradish added. Your dealer has both kinds, and they're both delicious. Ask for Kraft horseradish mustard and tangy golden Kraft salad mustard.